Today we got an insanely difficult matchup coming your way. Superman versus Better Ray Bill. Who comes out on top? Let's find out. Rocketed to Earth as an infant from the doomed planet Krypton, Kal-El was adopted by the loving Kent family and raised in America's heartland as Clark Kent. Using his immense solar field powers, he became Superman to defend mankind against all manner of threats while championing truth, justice, and the American way. Superman is arguably the strongest hero in the DC universe, and has performed some truly incredible feats of strength, even helping to move the entire Earth before alongside Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. He's also held a miniature black hole in his hands before, destroyed a moon, and has beaten down Darkseid and Doomsday. Superman has the ability to move at faster than light speeds, and his top speed hasn't even really been calculated. He's able to land hundreds of strikes in just a few seconds, and his mind is just as fast too, allowing him to process and understand vast amounts of information almost instantaneously. Superman is one of the most durable beings in existence, able to withstand bullets, missiles, bombs, and the man-made weapons without a scratch. In fact, you're more likely to hurt yourself by punching Superman than actually hurting him. However, it's not impossible to injure the Man of Steel. Characters with super strength like Mongol, Despero, and Doomsday have injured Clark before. He's also been hurt by powerful energy attacks. Superman also has limitless stamina, as long as exposed to yellow sun radiation. And his body also emits a gravitational field that enables him to defy gravity and fly at faster than light speeds. Kal-El has the ability to suck in large amounts of air into his lungs and then create strong gusts of wind with it. He's even able to control the temperature which expels this wind, which results in his freeze breath. Superman also has the ability to convert stored solar energy to beams of thermal energy that reach a temperature comparable to stars. He's a capable fighter and has knowledge of boxing, brawling, and pressure points, but he's by no means an expert fighter, instead relying on his incredible powers to win the fight. So as we got in one corner, one of DC's most iconic and most powerful superheroes, Superman. But, entering the ring, one of the greatest challenges ever faced, Thor's brother in arms, Better Ray Bill. The cyborg champion of the Corbinites, Better Ray Bill guarded his people as they fled attacks by demons. When he encountered Thor and proved worthy to wield Mjolnir, Odin bestowed upon him the powers of Thor and created an equally powerful hammer for Bill, the Stormbreaker. Bill possesses vast superhuman strength, and is comparable to beings like the Hulk, Thor, and Gladiator. He's said to have crushed moons with his fist, destroyed planets with his strikes, and has gone toe-to-toe with Thor before. He is nearly invulnerable, to be able to fly unaided in space, survive in the heart of stars, and deal blows from Thor and Thanos. Finally, his speed has also been greatly enhanced to roughly the same as Silver Surfer, thanks to his trusty hammer, Stormbreaker. Let's just talk about that hammer for a second here. It's basically the same as Mjolnir, as Stormbreaker has a worthiness enchantment attached to it as well. It will return to Bill's hand no matter what, and can be willed to fly in any direction while in the air. The hammer has been able to level mountains and even shatter entire planets, which is just an incredible striking power. The hammer can also teleport beings, even entire cities, to any location that he desires, sense cosmic or mystical energy, and heal injuries or diseases. It can produce lightning, summon winds, hurricanes, tsunamis, all that. Bill has even been able to create storms in space before, and one time blocked out the entire sun with a storm. It created force fields powerful enough to hold back a Herald of Galactus, and fire a destructive energy blast at an opponent. Better Ray Bill is also a champion gladiator of his people, making him one of the greatest warriors in the entire universe in armed and unarmed combat. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, in my opinion, this is possibly one of the most difficult fights and hardest videos you could possibly make, because both of these guys are so powerful and so well matched. It's basically its own version of Superman versus Thor, so one of the biggest fights out there. Although, with that being said, don't think that Superman vs. Thor would necessarily factor in here. We're treating Thor and Better Ray Bill as two separate characters in this. ABC logic isn't going to be applied here. Alright, let's get started. Now, both of these guys are famous for being physical powerhouses, so that does appear to be the best place to start. Now is Superman, where he's tossed moon-sized spaceships, moved to the moon alongside Wonder Woman and Green Lantern, moved the Earth with Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter, and moved the Earth again with Green Lantern. He's held a miniature black hole in the palm of his hand. A black hole the size of a dime, has slightly more mass than the Earth, moved a compressed solar system, helped Martian Manhunter stop the Brainiac mothership from colliding with Earth, and he's even bench pressed the weight of the Earth for 5 days straight, and said he could keep on going. Clark has even helped to lift a book with infinite number of pages or lift up the Spectre. On the other hand, Better Ray Bill has helped alongside Thor to lift up Asgard, saving it from being destroyed. And while that might not sound too impressive and seems like it can't compare to Clark, there is a difference between strength and striking at power. And that is where Bill really kicks it up a notch. I mean, in his very first fight with Thor, before Better Bill was even granted Stormbreaker, their blows were still powerful enough to level a whole countryside. Then, with his hammer, well, he's cleaved through Galactus' energy blast and actually cracked through Galactus' armor. He's even slammed a Stardust, a herald of Galactus, into a nearby planet, pummeled Stardust with a flurry of hammer strikes, and actually destroyed the planet underneath them. Basically, Better Bill has casually destroyed planets before, and that's kind of out of the normal range for Superman's striking power, considering that the highest Clark has done, on average, is destroy moons, and even that knocked him out. Now, of course, that's not to say that Superman can't throw an insanely powerful punch. He's easily destroyed asteroids that were on track to destroy the Earth, and as said before, he's able to hit hard enough to split a moon in half or shatter small planets with his blows. He's punched Wonder Woman from the sun to the Earth, punched Wraith through the moon, and his punches can be felt from the core of the Earth all the way up to the Watchtower. He's flown right through a moon before, and shattered a shadow moon with an infinite mass punch. He's knocked out Mongol Jr. with just 2 punches, destroyed Green Lantern Construct with just 1 hit, and Superman has even broken through time and space, smashed endless illusions and realities, broken alternate realities, shattered the boundaries of space and time. One of his punches even broken the timeline before. He's even blocked Doomsday from landing a punch and blocked Wonder Woman from landing a death blow on Mongol. So it's actually quite possible they could just block Stormbreaker as well, just like he did in that infamous Avengers vs. JLA crossover issue in the 90s. So if you take an average between these two heroes, I would say that Better Ray Bill has the stronger striking power, which isn't really surprising. He's using a magical warhammer instead of just his fist. But Superman is obviously nothing to scoff at. So what about durability? Well, durability is arguably one of Better Ray Bill's greatest assets, as the guy appears to be able to take anything that comes his way and just keep on chugging. There was a time where Better Ray Bill pretty much single-handedly declared war on Galactus, and so he started destroying planets in an effort to starve out the World Eater. And because of this, he's repeatedly survived planetary destruction, even at point-blank range. Then he can easily survive being inside of stars. And the big guys even survived attacks from Galactus himself, being slammed in between Galactus' hands, and even withstanding a blast from Galactus that was powerful enough to scorch the face of a planet. But I have a feeling Superman has got him edged out in this category. He's taken hits from the Claw of Horus, which is pretty much equivalent to being hit with the force of a planet, as well as being hit and sent flying from Metropolis to Tokyo and from California to China. Clark has even taken a beating from a guy who knocked out Martian Manhunter with 1 punch, has repeatedly been punched to the moon and back, and he's taken punches on Superboy Prime himself. He's even started a supernova before. He's taken Darkseid's Omega beams, endured beatings from gods, survived inside of the sun and inside of black holes. Superman has even survived the Sun Eater's implosion, withstood detonations from the Empiric's probe, and has taken attacks from the Voidhound, which destroyed 10 star systems in its test run. He survived an explosion that was 50 times larger than the Kepler supernova. He was right in the center of the collision between Apocalypse and Eugenesis, survived the Source Wall explosion, absorbed enough anti-sunlight to vaporize half the galaxy, and he's even withstood death before, which, honestly, don't even know how that last one is possible. But this is Superman we're talking about here. Also, I just want to clarify here, just because Superman has survived a lot of attacks doesn't necessarily put him leagues above Bill when it comes to durability. It's mostly just because he's been around longer. And honestly, taking several attacks from Galactus is a lot more impressive, or at least as impressive, as a lot of stuff we mentioned for Clark. Just want to clarify that. And finally, we've got speed. Now, unlike his counterpart and brother-in-arms Thor, Bill actually is pretty consistent when it comes to speed and doesn't have a lot of what we call in the biz anti-feats. Basically, Thor will sometimes get speed blitzed by people even like Wolverine and Daredevil, while other times he'll hang even with speedsters like Hyperion and Silver Surfer. Well, Bill is a whole lot more consistent and at a higher level. Better Ray Bill and Silver Surfer have fought against each other while traveling in hyperspace at fast and light speeds. He's pretty much instantly bull rushed Stardust across the entire solar system, and he's easily dodged attacks in the Scuttlebug while still maintaining fast and light speeds. Bill has also just been able to observe things and operate at this level, observing Surfer twisting and turning as Norm was traveling at least several times the speed of light, and Silver Surfer, Quasar, and Bill have proven to be fast enough to cure an entire plague in what in real time would be a millisecond. They can work fast enough to stretch that time into hours. Better Ray Bill might not be as fast as Superman, but he's consistently proven that he can move and operate at fast enough speeds to at least allow him to hang in the fight. But yeah, like I said, Superman is faster. He's blitzed Doomsday over 4,000 times in an instant, blitzed Ultraman, General Zod, and Wonder Woman, and caught Professor Zoom before, with Zoom saying Superman is nearly as fast as himself. He's able to think and process information at faster than the speed of light, can measure time in between nanoseconds, has repeatedly been able to keep up with both Barry Allen and Wally West while they were moving at super speed, and he's even able to move so fast that he can negate the effects of time manipulation. He's even able to accelerate his perception of time alongside the Flash, so that time stopped all around them. And the author actually said Superman can see all the way down to attoseconds. But that's just one author's opinion. And on top of all that, Superman is able to use speed in very creative ways, being able to phase through attacks on both Doomsday and Mongol, turn invisible, and launch precise attacks at super speed, even being able to take down Ultraman, who is essentially Superman's physical equal. So, overall, I would say Superman is physically superior than Better Ray Bill, but don't rule out the Corbinite just yet, because there are several massive advantages in his corner. For starters, Better Ray Bill is a whole lot more versatile. Now, yes, Bill is more likely to start swinging his hammer around and physically fighting against Clark. He's also a smart fighter, who will use his versatility if need be. He's able to fire energy blasts powerful enough to injure Heralds of Galactus, absorb and manipulate energy attacks from Stardust and Silver Surfer, and create force fields to protect him from attacks. Just like Thor, he's able to manipulate the weather, generating lightning powerful enough to kill Fenris the Wolf, and summoning a storm large enough to block out the sun. Bill can even just use Stormbreaker itself in creative ways, commanding it to circle the planet several times before hitting an opponent, increasing its speed and power. Use it to manipulate gravity or forcefully extract energy, and it'll even displace Stormbreaker down on top of people, and use it to hold them in place. Secondly, Better Ray Bill is basically a one-man army, and fights like a man possessed. He hits hard and he hits fast, and he just continues landing blow after blow after blow after blow until his enemy is down. He also has a whole lot looser morals than Superman does. Not saying that Bill has no morals, because he does and will hold back as civilians are around. But he isn't afraid to kill, and he's going to be going a lot harder and all out against Superman, while Clark won't be going all out against him. And it's also not like Bill is a mindless fighter. He's also a skilled warrior. He's actually one of the few deemed capable of leading the Asgardian army into battle. Lastly, Better Ray Bill is magically based. And while Superman isn't necessarily weak to magic, like he's weak to kryptonite or red sun radiation, he isn't invulnerable to it either. Like Shazam was able to knock out Kal with just 2 hits while he was amping his punch with the power of Zeus, although it was a sucker punch too. However, while Bill has his advantages, Clark has his own as well, besides just his physical superiority. For starters, while he might not be as versatile as Bill, Superman knows how to use his powers to the very best of his ability. I mean, he's able to push back Darkseid of his freeze breath, freeze Brainiac, use heat vision to blast through an Empiric's probe, and destroy a force field that Supergirl and Green Lantern combined couldn't get through. He's also real creative, using thunderclaps, creating whirlwinds, or deflecting his heat division, and is actually incredibly smart and skilled, too, calculating the opponent's melting point in mid-fight, using pressure points on repeated occasions, and has even strategically used the environment to take down opponents. And just because Better Bill is a magical being, that's not an instant victory for Bill. I mean, Superman has repeatedly fought against other magical beings, like Shazam, Wonder Woman, Etrigan the Demon, and more. So, not an instant KO. And at the end of the day here, I'm going to favor Superman in an insanely hard-fought victory. And even then, probably only a slight majority, and Better Bill will claim a healthy share of victories. But Clark is still physically superior in almost every area. Is perfectly skilled at using his powers in combat, and actually an intelligent and strategic fighter. I also just think he's generally more powerful than Better Bill. Now, I know some of y'all might complain that Better Bill should have won because of how similar he is to Thor, and might even argue that Bill is actually more powerful than Thor. But that's just not the case. For starters, anything that Bill has done, Thor's either replicated them or outdone them. Like if Bill has cracked Galactus' armor and fought against Stardust, Thor's done the same thing to Galactus' armor, although to a higher degree, and fought against Silver Surfer, who is more powerful than Stardust. They even fought against the same people before, and Thor has done better. Bill's even been pressed up against the ropes by both Red Hulk and Namor in the rain, while Thor easily defeated and injured both of them. Silver Surfer easily beat Better Bill, while Surfer has consistently struggled against Thor. Thor's even done better against Thanos, whereas the Mad Titan just laid a beat down on Better Bill. Basically, Thor is more powerful than Bill, and like I said at the beginning, it isn't a simple ABC logic kind of fight. End of the day, I still stand by my decision. Superman is taking the slight edge and ultimate victory here, even though Better Bill is going to give him a hell of a fight. But Superman really is just too powerful. Superman wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and turn on notifications to join the DanCo army, and I will see you all next time.